Stanford University. it. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the faculty procession and the university president's party.
Please be seated. As we open this 127th Stanford Commencement ceremony, we take a moment to pause and give thanks for all that has been accomplished, for the wonder and joy of time shared, and the sum of gathered experience in this place. We remember with heartfelt gratitude all those who have helped to bring us to this moment, friends and family, professors and staff. In the beauty of this day, and with gratitude for this particular temperature, we feel our existence as part of the greater whole, this fragile planet Earth and all it gives us for the sustenance of our lives. In this great gathering, we catch a sense, as we look around, of the ways in which we are tied together in the single garment of destiny, caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. expressed it. And as we celebrate great achievements and delight in everything we have learned, so we recognize that our work is not done. May we see this day as an invitation to continue to use our knowledge and wisdom for the greater good. May we see it as an invitation to be, as Jane Stanford urged, resolute in purpose. May the passionate dedication, the patient perseverance, the curiosity and creativity that has brought us to this moment carry us forth to be resolute in purpose, creating a world marked by honest inquiry, courageous imagination, justice for all, and deep compassion. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dean Shaw. And on the occasion of your final commencement as Dean for Religious Life, please accept our thanks for your service to Stanford. Members of the class of 2018, Stanford faculty and staff, former and current trustees of the university, government officials, distinguished guests, and cherished family members and friends, I thank you for joining us on this very special day to celebrate Stanford's 127th commencement. It's my great honor to warmly welcome all of you. To all those who are receiving degrees today, I offer a very special welcome. Our senior class members, and our graduate students. Congratulations to each and every one of you. We're so proud of all that you've accomplished in your time on campus, of all the hard work that brought you to this stadium this morning. Today, we will award 1,673 bachelor's degrees, 2,000, let's hear it for the bachelor's degrees. 2,433 master's degrees, and with mathematical precision, exactly 1,000 doctoral degrees. Now, for students who are receiving bachelor's degrees, 305 will graduate with departmental honors and 291 with university distinction. 79 have satisfied the requirements of more than one major, and 29 are graduating with dual bachelor's degrees. 442 of our seniors completed minors, and 187 will graduate with both a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. Now, Stanford is proud to enroll students from all around the globe. Many of our international students will receive their degrees today. Let's hear it for the international students. One 121 members of our undergraduate class hail from 32 countries, and 81 countries are represented by the 1,143 international students who will receive their master's and doctoral degrees. Congratulations. All the numbers I've just cited illustrate the tremendous impact that Stanford has on our global society. That positive impact is also due, in part, to the dedication, to the loving encouragement, and to the extraordinary support of the family members and friends who have championed each of you in the years you've worked toward your Stanford degree. Many of those family members and friends are here today in the stands of our stadium. Others are watching this ceremony from around the world via live stream. Yeah. They include your mothers and your fathers, your spouses and your children, your siblings, your grandparents, aunts and uncles, your mentors and your peers, people who helped you along the way to Stanford and through your years as Stanford students. And so I'd like to ask all the members of the class of 2018, seniors and graduate students, to join now in one of Stanford's treasured commencement traditions. Please rise. Think of all those family members and friends who supported you on this special journey. Turn to your family members and friends if they're in the stands or if they're watching from around the world. Yeah. And please join me in saying thank you. You may be seated. To the family members and friends of our Stanford graduates, I personally say thank you as well. Thank you for entrusting your loved ones to our university and their time here. And thank you for all that you do and have done to ensure their success. And now it's my great pleasure to turn the program over to Stanford's Provost, Persis Drell, who will present the winners of the University Awards.
Thank you, President Tessier-Levine. It is now my pleasure and my privilege to present the Walter J. Gores Awards for Excellence in Teaching. Recommendations for these prizes and for the Lloyd W. Dinkelspiel Awards and the Kenneth M. Cuthbertson Awards were considered by a committee of faculty, students, and staff. I would like to ask the Gores Award winners to come to the stage at this time, and here they are. The Gores Awards were established by a bequest from Walter J. Gores, a Stanford alumnus of the class of 1917. Gores was a dedicated teacher who strove for excellence during his 30 years as a distinguished professor at the University of Michigan. The Gores Awards recognize excellent teaching at the undergraduate and graduate level as defined in its broadest sense, to include lecturing, discussions, tutoring, advising, and course development. Teaching is a complex art as well as an essential cornerstone of university life. I will call each recipient forward to receive his or her award, and I ask that you please hold your applause until I have announced all of this year's award winners. The recipients of the 2018 Walter J. Goerz Awards for Excellence in Teaching are Michelle Elam, the William Robertson Coe Professor, Olivier Nominelli University Fellow in Undergraduate Education and Director of the Graduate Program in Modern Thought and Literature, Richard Nevely, Lecturer and Deputy Director in the Earth Systems Programs, and Delaney Sullivan, MS Candidate in Computer Science. On behalf of the university, I congratulate each of you for this recognition of excellence in your teaching. Thank you. I would like to ask the Dinkelspiel Award winners to come to the stage at this time. Okay, here she comes. Oh, do we have?
Go over the top. There you go.
Lloyd Dinkelspiel's service to Stanford included the presidency of the Board of Trustees in the 1950s and was characterized by an enduring concern for the quality of undergraduate education at this university. Shortly after he died in 1959, a memorial fund was established to endow the Lloyd W. Dinkelspiel Awards for distinctive contributions to undergraduate education. The recipients of the 2018 Lloyd W. Dinkelspiel Award for distinctive contributions to undergraduate education are Stephen Stedman, Senior Fellow at the Freeman Spogli Institute for International Studies and Professor by Courtesy of Political Science, Amy Larimer, Lecturer in Civil and Environmental Engineering, Assistant Director of the Architectural Design Program and Resident Fellow Rinconada, Alexis Kellen, BA candidate in Political Science with interdisciplinary honors in Democracy, Development, and the Rule of Law. On behalf of the university, I congratulate you for this significant recognition of your contributions to undergraduate education. The Goerz and Dinkelspiel Awards are joined by a third, the Kenneth M. Cuthbertson Award for exceptional service to Stanford University. I would like to ask the Cuthbertson Award winner to come to the stage at this time. The award was established in 1981 to honor the late Kenneth Cuthbertson, one of the early architects of Stanford's long-range financial planning and development programs. The sole criterion of the Cuthbertson Award is the quality of the contribution that the recipient has made to Stanford. This is a fitting, lasting legacy to an individual who cared deeply about the university and its values, and whose contributions continue to benefit each and every one of us today. The recipient of the 2018 Kenneth M. Cuthbertson Award for exceptional contributions to Stanford University is Ann Arvin, Lucille Salter Packard Professor of Pediatrics, Professor of Microbiology and Immunology, and Vice Provost and Dean of Research. On behalf of the university, I congratulate you for this distinguished recognition of your exceptional service to Stanford.
Well, thank you, Provost Drell. One of the great honors that I hold as president of Stanford is the opportunity to speak to you, the members of the class of 2018, on your commencement day. This is a great privilege for me. Your years at Stanford have been a time of intellectual discovery, of incredible accomplishment, and extraordinary dedication. Today, we honor all that you have achieved, and with all the ceremony that such achievement warrants. I'm honored this morning to recognize your achievement with some words about my great hope for you as you leave the family of Stanford students and join the family of Stanford alumni. My hope as you enter the world as graduates is this: that we at Stanford have prepared you both for a life of purpose and a life of continual exploration. To explain what I mean by a life of purpose and a life of exploration, I'd like to tell you a story about a Stanford alumna who was one of our university's most beloved professors. Her name was Edith Miralles. She was a member of the class of 1907. Professor Miralles taught writing. She was widely recognized for her insights and skill. Many of the great American writers of the early 20th century knew and admired and respected her. When a young man named John Steinbeck enrolled at Stanford, he signed up for Professor Miralles' class. Steinbeck's dream was to be a writer, and he was sure that Professor Miralles would teach him the secret to writing great short stories. But almost immediately, Professor Miralles dashed the young Steinbeck's hopes. As Steinbeck later wrote, Professor Miralles made it very clear that there was no magic formula to writing a great short story. Instead, this is what Professor Miralles taught Steinbeck in his words. Quote, "A story, to be effective, had to convey something from the writer to the reader, and the power of its offering was the measure of its excellence. Outside of that, there are no rules. A story could be about anything and could use any means and any technique at all, so long as it was effective." End quote. What Steinbeck learned is what I hope each one of you will remember in the years ahead. Just as there is no magic formula for writing a great short story, there's also no magic formula for living a life of purpose and of exploration. This may seem daunting at the outset of your post-Stanford life. Formulas, rules, guidelines, these can be comforting. Simple measures of excellence and impact, awards, honors, and good grades. These are important. They're also affirming. They're clear. They're easy to identify, even if the work to achieve them is hard. But these are not the only measures of success in life. And I think you will find that they are not ultimately the most meaningful measures of a life well lived. So, inspired by Professor Miralles, here's how I would extend the lesson she taught to John Steinbeck when applied to life itself. A life to be purposeful must convey something from the individual to the world, and the true measure of its impact is, in fact, the power of the individual's offering. Outside of that, there are no rules. A life well lived can take any shape and can explore any direction, any career, any path at all, so long as it is purposeful. In other words, you're free to write your own story. Let purpose be your North Star, and let exploration be your compass. Which path you take and what you explore along the way is entirely up to you. True exploration will help you find your calling. Some of you may already have found it, either at Stanford or earlier. For many of us, finding a calling happens later as we explore different paths. In past and present Stanford alumni, I see individuals who have taken every possible path, explored every possible direction, and lived lives of the most meaningful purpose. I see teachers who mentor students through the challenging years of adolescence and community leaders who improve their communities brick by brick. I see scholars and scientists who expand the boundaries of human knowledge, doctors who fight to save lives from global pandemics, and artists who illuminate and enrich the human experience. I see senators and Supreme Court justices working to make our union more perfect, and leaders of pioneering companies working to improve our health and quality of life. There are professors and engineers, lawyers and philanthropists. There are mothers, fathers, grandparents, the loving family members who serve as caregivers for the next generation. I see so many lives of purpose, lives that alumni of Stanford have lived and are living, heeding the call to stay purposeful by contributing to the greater world beyond themselves, not only in their professional lives, but also in their lives as a whole, in how they parent, in how they treat their peers, their coworkers, their neighbors, in how they serve others in their communities. The records of their lives illustrates that excellence is not an end in itself. Rather, excellence is a means to magnify an individual's purpose and contribution to the world. John Steinbeck was a Stanford student who wanted a basic lesson in how to write great short stories. But the lesson he learned instead, a lesson about exploration and purpose and impact, is much more profound. And what people remember about Steinbeck today is not that he won the Nobel Prize in Literature or the National Book Award, the metrics of success. What they remember is the power of the stories he told, the power of his offering to the world. And this brings me to another man who discovered early in his years at Stanford the power of his own offering to the world. He is a man who lives a life of both inspirational purpose and invigorating exploration. His name is Sterling K. Brown. And today he honors Stanford as its commencement speaker. Sterling's achievements are substantial. He is the first African-American man to win the Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Drama television series. The first African-American man to win a Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Male Actor in a Drama Series. And the first African-American man in 19 years to win the Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series. Time magazine recently chose him as one of the 100 most influential people of 2018. Saturday Night Live chose him as a recent first-time host. And the gifted actress Ryan Michelle Bathe chose him as her husband. Sterling and Ryan both earned their bachelor's degrees right here at Stanford in 1998, and then their MFAs from New York University. Sterling's bachelor's degree here was in drama. It was not the degree he expected to earn when he enrolled as a freshman. In fact, when Sterling came to the farm from St. Louis, he planned to major in economics. He planned to become a businessman. But in his freshman year, Sterling decided to audition for a play. But that will be his next career. He auditioned for a play he decided to explore. The play was Joe Turner's Come and Gone. Sterling won the part of a main character, a former slave who has traveled north in the years of the Great Migration. That part not only marked the beginning of his immersion in the dramatic arts and ultimately an award-winning career as an actor, it also represented an important step in Sterling's journey toward purpose. Sterling has often spoken about the significance of Black actors playing parts that were purposely written as African American, whether in his role as the accused Joseph Spell in the movie Marshall, or as the prosecutor Christopher Darden in The People versus O.J. Simpson, or the character Njobu in Black Panther. In all of those roles, Sterling's performances attest to the fundamental truth that in art, the universal may be found in the individual. That's why all viewers, no matter our race, ethnicity, or gender, experience the joys and the sorrows of the character Randall Pearson, whom Sterling plays on the television show This Is Us. Sterling's performance as Randall, a character who is purposely African American, is so powerful, so moving, and so emotionally rich, it is a revelation of what it is to be human. Beginning in his first year at Stanford, Sterling opened himself to exploration, and in so doing, he found his purpose to unleash the universal truths of the individual experience. And this is a critical point that I think Sterling, by virtue of the life he lives, illuminates for you, who are members of the class of 2018. Your purpose will be unique to you. You may feel tempted at times to observe what other people's purposes are and to adopt them as your own. But ultimately, as you explore and build your career, you will need to search within what you're drawn to for your own unique purpose that will serve as your truest guide to a life of fulfillment and meaning and joy. As the young Steinbeck learned here a century ago, there are no other rules. And as Sterling himself has shown, a life can take any shape and can explore any direction, any career, any path at all. But ultimately, it acquires its meaning through its purpose, through the power of the offering. Please join me in welcoming Sterling K. Brown.
Class of 2018, Nerd Nation, how we doing this morning? Yes. I'm a little hype. Let's bring it down. Woo, ja, okay. President Tessier Levine, thank you so much for sharing those beautiful words with us this morning. And thank you for such a gracious welcome. In the future, if you could try to under-promise and over-deliver, I would appreciate that. You know what I mean? We don't want these people getting too high on their expectations. Then when I come off sounding halfway decent, everybody will be like, oh my goodness, wasn't that refreshing? That young man was so articulate. What's the name of his show again? I'm gonna watch it just for him. Before I get into my speech, I need to make one statement and then pose one question. Statement. I will from time to time be slipping into a dialect known as Av. For the uninitiated, that is African American Vernacular English, okay? In some sections of the country, they refer to this dialect as Ebonics, but here at Leland Stanford Junior University, where it was taught to me by Professor John R. Rickford, we call it Av. I utilize this dialect because it's something I'm familiar and comfortable with. And since I'm home talking to all my future fellow alumni of the farm, I figured I might as well make myself as familiar and comfortable as possible. I also use it periodically because sometimes when driving a point home, I find the kings to be somewhat lacking. Dost thou apprehend my perspective? I wanted to make this disclaimer up front just in case anyone was concerned about Randall. He does not have a mohawk. He was still raised by Jack and Becky with the good hair, and he does not use Av quite as much as I do, but he might. Just hold on, wait and see. Now my question. Have any of you ever been asked to do something that everyone automatically assumes you'll be great at, but in the back of your mind you have no idea what you're gonna do? You're absolutely terrified of looking foolish and loathe the fact that you ever agreed to do it in the first place? That for some reason or another, people consider you to be this deep thinker with profound insights to share with the world, while all along you feel about as deep as the shallow end of a kiddie pool? If so, then welcome to the 127th commencement address at Stanford University as delivered to you by Sterling K. Brown. Hey, MTL, that is the way you under-promise. You see what I'm doing here? Real talk, I must have started this speech about 11 times. Every time I started it, it would be aight, but I wanted it to be great. I wanted to give you all something special. Because I've sat where you've sat. I've imagined what the next phase of my life would look like. I've celebrated with my friends and family. I've struggled through the quarter system for 4 years and I made it through to the other side. Granted, as a drama major, but still the struggle was real. You young people are the best of the best, and you deserve the best from me. And I've had a really hard time finding it. The biggest hurdle that I've had to overcome in preparing this speech is one of my own creation. It was an unconscious story that I had about myself, which has been forced to the surface through this particular exercise in public speaking. And it goes something like this. Brown, I say to myself, you are not a writer. You only got a 600 on your best verbal SAT score. Hashtag so Stanford, hashtag never would have admitted that 20 years ago. You haven't written a speech of any significance since your junior year of high school when you ran for student council president. I did win, by the way. What makes you think you can just pull 15 minutes out of your backside when you haven't put pen to paper for a public address in 25 years? Now, I can already hear your beautiful John Forbes Nash-like minds working, preparing your rebuttal. Allow me to give them voice. Mr. Brown, because you're respectful, you won all these awards over the past couple of years for these roles you've played, and we've heard your speeches. What are you talking about? To that I say, yes, I've been blessed to win a few things, and yes, I've given a few speeches, but I didn't write them down. It's bullet points. I make a few bullet points, then I shoot from the hip. That's pretty easy for me. That's comfortable, but this is new. And anytime you do something new, usually, inevitably, there is fear. Especially if you've ever suffered from perfectionism. I wouldn't imagine any of you nerds who have busted your hump to get into the dopest university in the country would know anything about that. Here's the thing I had to remind myself about fear. As a human being, it is my goal in life to become the best version of myself possible, which is ultimately, I believe, divine. If all of my life is comfortable and convenient, I rob myself of the opportunity to grow, to stretch, to expand. When I feel fear, as uncomfortable as it may be, I know I'm in the right place. Whether you're 22 or 42, never allow fear to keep you from expanding your definition of self. MTL, that's why y'all call me MTL, right? I think that's pretty cool. Senior class presidents, by inviting me to be your commencement speaker today, you have provided me with an opportunity to step into the unknown where possibilities are limitless. And while I may have silently cursed you a few times while I was writing this thing, please allow me now to thank you for providing me the landscape for my own individual growth. Namaste. Now back to the hell of actually writing this thing. Since we've already established that I was working under the rather destructive, self-inflicted narrative of I am not a writer, I turned to the writings of others. And it was very helpful. Freshman year, as part of what was then known as Civ, my focus was philosophy. And it was a personal revelation. Particularly as a young man who was raised Christian in St. Louis, Missouri, I was quite stunned to find that no one religious group, nor individuals who subscribe to no particular faith at all, have a monopoly on wisdom. There was a wealth of philosophers and philosophies to consult besides the Gospels and Proverbs. The latter still hold a very special place in my life, but so too now do the former. From the perspective in which I live my life today, the divine is accessible to all. So I consulted my big three. Big three. Socrates, Plato, and Lao Tzu. Quite a few pearls of wisdom from these sages. Allow me to read just a few that help me get the ball rolling. Socrates. An unexamined life is not worth living. Hashtag stay woke. Do you ever think about what you're thinking about? Or do you treat your thoughts as if they're real and you have no control over them? No answers here, just questions. I think Socrates would prefer it that way. Beware the barrenness of a busy life. There will be enormous pull when you enter into the real world to be busy, always doing, always hustling and bustling. Have you contemplated the importance of stillness? Is being busy the same thing as being productive? I am not an Athenian or a Greek, but a citizen of the world. Ooh, I like this one. This is nationalism versus globalism. This is very Black Panther, right? Who are you responsible for? Are you your brothers and sisters' keeper, or are you only responsible for your own people, or for your own path, for that matter? And lastly, and this is one that landed really on me, I know nothing except the fact of my ignorance. Can I get an amen? Look, do y'all know some of the people you've had deliver this commencement address? I'm talking about multiple Supreme Court justices, multiple mayors of major metropolises. Metropolises, that's the way you say that word. I looked up but it sounds weird, metropolises. Tech titans who only need one name, Gates, Jobs, and of course, the Queen, or at least that's what we call her in the community for the uninitiated. I'm talking about Oprah. Now, from where I'm sitting, these people know something. They make laws, run cities, make bank, move the culture. While me and Socrates, on the other hand, are swimming in a sea of ignorance as vast as the Pacific itself. Just don't know nothing, you know? People, I'm the dude who takes the words of another dude and makes it seem like he came up with them himself. That's what I do for a living. I can't believe you got me up here talking to these young people, man. This is crazy. But then I take a breath, and I remember my speech doesn't have to look like anybody else's. My speech is my speech. And they can't do what I can do, and I can't do what they can do, so why am I even trying? And it's not for them. It's not even for me. It's for you. It is a reflection of me, and hopefully it is authentic to who I am as a person. But when I place the focus on where it truly belongs, on this gorgeous opportunity to be of service to the future of this country, to the future of the world, I stop worrying about how I compare to others, and I just give you the best that I got. Let me move on to Plato. First quote. This one inspired me throughout the entirety of my speech. The beginning is the most important part of the work. Just write something, Brown. It don't gotta be perfect, it don't gotta be pretty. You can tell them you write an Av and make it seem like a conscious choice later. They won't know nothing, but write something. One more from Plato. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Now, this one was big. It was big because it reminded me of another quote that changed my life. The quote is by Marianne Williamson, and it goes like this. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us most. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and famous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. And it's not just in some of us, it's in all of us. And when we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Graduates of the class of 2018, do not be afraid to let your light shine. It is your birthright. It is your responsibility, because we grow together. I remember working on a commedia piece in grad school, and my teacher was asking me to do something that was incredibly uncomfortable, as are frequently the requests made by faculty in an acting conservatory program. Let me remind you that I loathe looking foolish, and he knew that. And he did not allow me to recede into my fear. He would not allow me to use that as an excuse to keep from moving forward. He told me, it's not about you, Sterling. We're all learning from your experience. Have you ever walked into a room and felt the energy of that room change? Better yet, have you ever been in a room and had someone walk into that space and you felt it shift for the better or for the worse? My mama always told me, when you visit someone else's house, leave things better than the way you found them. That way, you'll always be asked back. You want to be that person that changes the room for the better. You want to be that person that keeps getting asked back. You do that by turning on your light. Sometimes when I'm in the gym or on the treadmill, getting in my little cardio, frequently I say in my head, this stuff is for the birds. I want to go home. I'm done. And then I'll look up and I'll see someone letting their light shine, and I am reminded of the luminescence that is me. Some people will say that's my competitive nature coming out. Sure, that's one way of looking at it. But I choose to see it as my inspired nature coming out. I am inspired by the excellence of others. I strive for personal excellence. Look, there's no sense in doing something if you're not going to try to do your best. But also because I know that it inspires excellence in others. I got to pay it forward. The inspiration can't stop with me. You guys, my friends from Stanford are some bad men. I got 2 lawyers, one who's transitioning into being a stand-up comic because he knows that's where his light shines brightest, a judge, a urologist, great at dinner parties, by the way. Everybody should have a urologist. They go through some crazy stuff. And a doctoral student in communications with a subdiscipline in performance studies. Now, rarely having an explicit discussion about it, we are exceptionally proud of each other. By challenging ourselves, we challenge each other to be the best possible versions of ourselves. I surround myself with people who let their light shine. Yo, not to mention the hottest chick in the game, rocking my chain, fellow graduate of the class of '98, double major in English and African American Studies, proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Omicron Chi chapter, writer, singer, actor, producer, and proud mother of 2 future Stanford graduates to boot, Ryan Michelle Bathay, you are the brightest light in my life. Thank you for shining with your boy. All right. Oh, almost forgot about the third of the big three, Lao Tzu. It's like leaving Randall at the hospital, my bad. The author of the Tao Te Ching's wisdom is so pure and simple it requires very little explication. Here we go. When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everybody will respect you. Right? That's good. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Briefly, when I first got to Stanford, I thought I had it all figured out. Major in econ, go into business or finance, make bank, and take care of my family. It made sense. It was the prudent thing to do. And while I had always loved acting, it just wasn't practical. In my mind, a career in acting was reserved for the children of the wealthy who didn't have to worry about making a significant contribution to the livelihood of their communities, of their families. But the call of the stage never waned. The desire to illuminate the human condition was always the thing that gave my life the greatest sense of purpose. See what I did there, MTL? I tied it back into the thing. I had to let go of who I was in order to become who I am. And if you wish for your light to shine continuously, it is a process that you must go through over and over again. Lastly, a good traveler has no fixed plans and is not intent on arriving. Now, this is for my homies similar to myself who battle/have battled with perfectionism. Goals are great. They give us a sense of accomplishment. They help establish a roadmap of the general trajectory of our lives, and hopefully that trajectory is onward and upward. However, do not be so obsessed with getting the pudding made that you forget to enjoy the process of making the pudding. Because most of life is the process. You spend way more time on the journey than you do at the final destination. Think of perfection like an asymptote. The journey towards it is infinite, but the destination can never be reached. If you're able to take that journey and enjoy it, knowing that there will always be endless room for improvement, then you'll be all right. If you still fool yourself into thinking the end point of perfection is something that exists and can be attained, I worry that you may miss the beautiful curve of a life well lived, never enjoying where you are in the moment, always wishing you were someplace, something, or someone else. In conclusion, fear can be a great motivator, just as long as it doesn't overcome your desire to move forward. You have an opportunity, a responsibility to leave this world better than how you found it. And you do that by being brilliant, by letting your light shine. And don't worry about anybody else's light. Don't try to compare yours to anyone else's. If you have found that thing, that purpose in life that gives you access to maximum enthusiasm, trust that. I'm not talking about a job. I'm not even talking about a career. I'm talking about a calling. I'm talking about that thing that forces the metaphorical lampshade from your soul and mandates that everyone wear sunglasses in your presence because you're just that damn bright. This is not a selfish act. Because now, those who fall within your sphere of influence know that what is possible for you is also possible for them. And when you see someone shining, hey, don't hate. Do not tear that individual down. Celebrate their success as if it were your own, because whether you realize it or not, we rise and fall together. Hey, the name of the show ain't us versus them. We're not trying to highlight all the things that differentiate us. The show is called This Is Us. We spend so much time vilifying anyone that doesn't see the world through the same lens as ourselves. And I include myself amongst that group. The dark side of the Force is incredibly appealing. The possibility of being a Sith or a Jedi exists within us all. When folks disagree with you, welcome the opportunity to further clarify your own position for yourself. It doesn't have to devolve into animus. And believe me, I say this as much for me as I do for you. Dialogue with those of differing perspectives helps us develop empathy. As an actor, I do not have to like every character I play. It helps, but it's not a necessity. But I do have to understand them, and I cannot judge them as I tell their story. The Dalai Lama says, education is the proper way to promote compassion and tolerance in society. I remind myself of this frequently. Intolerance is still intolerance, even when it's for the intolerant. Don't give way to hating. Do not give anyone the power to rob you of your light. One of my dearest friends from Stanford was Andrew Jacob Dare. We lived in Uj together freshman year, and with the exception of the year he spent abroad at the London School of Economics, we spent every other year either across the hall from each other or right next door. He had a beautiful mind and an exquisite soul. I remember once freshman year, somebody tried to put AJD on Front Street, and they said, "Yo, Andrew, why you always hanging out with these black people, man?" And Mr. Phi Beta Kappa in econ, without hesitation, hat pulled way low over in his eyes, said, "Because I'm down." Yeah, Andrew was white. And in just being himself, affectation-free, he had as much soul as anybody in that dorm. And in case you forgot what I'm talking about, Ooh, Jamal! Thank you for not letting me down. In Andrew, I found a kindred spirit, someone who was always looking for new ways to improve himself. We studied together, we worked out together. The first time I ran the steps in this stadium, it was with Andrew. I remember one night in Burbank Stern, we got a bad draw number, what can I say, you know? Andrew and I were working on an Econ 180 problem set, and I was struggling. Frustration was getting the best of me, and this dude, who had finished his problem set long ago, stayed up with me damn near till the sun came up and made sure I finished my homework. He wouldn't let me fail. Now, I got a few stories like that about AJD. I won't bore you with them all. I wish I had a few more, but unfortunately, Andrew died the year after I graduated. Multiple traumatic injuries sustained when he fell from the third story of the building where he worked. Whether it was intentional or not is unclear. There is a tree and a bench in Lagunitas Court in remembrance of one of the brightest beings I've ever known in my life. Bright like intelligent, yes, but bright like luminous. Andrew Jacob Dare is one of the only people I know who always did his absolute best. And even though he's been gone for 19 years now, I still find myself saying, one day when I grow up, I'm going to be just like Andrew. My son, his namesake, is here today. And when I see my boy and I say his name, I smile because I get a chance to keep my friend with me still. Class of 2018, no one is an island unto themselves. We have all benefited from and been supported by the communities which have nourished us along the way, our families, our friends, our teachers. The easiest way I can think of showing your appreciation for their investment in your human capital is by shining. You are Stanford grads now. You get to walk around with an S on your chest. Why not shine? And remember, this is not a selfish act. This is the way we give permission to the world to collectively step into the light. I shine for my city. Big up St. Louis. I shine for my family. I shine for my friends. I shine for you, Chocolate Cardinal. I shine for you, Nerd Nation. And I shine for you, Andrew Jacob Dare. Class of 2018, it is your time now. Do me a favor, will you? Take your light and show us the way. God bless you. I love you. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you, Sterling, for those inspiring and moving remarks. We so appreciate you being part of this celebration. Thank you again. And now, will the Provost please present the candidates for degrees?
Mr. President, first, I have the honor to recognize all those who have completed the requirements for master's and doctoral degrees. They will be presented to you by the deans of their schools.
Will the candidates from the School of Engineering please stand? Mr. President, I present to you those who have completed the requirements for the degrees of Master of Science, Engineer, and Doctor of Philosophy.
Thank you, Dean Whittam. By the authority vested in me by the faculty and trustees of this university, I am delighted to confer publicly upon you the degrees for which you have been presented and to admit you to their rights, responsibilities, and privileges. Please be seated.
Will the candidates from the School of Law please rise? Mr. President, I present to you those who have completed the requirements for the degrees of Doctor of Jurisprudence, Master of the Science of Law, Doctor of the Science of Law, and Master of Laws.
By the authority vested in me by the faculty and trustees of this university, I'm delighted to confer upon you the degrees for which you have been presented and to admit you to their rights, responsibilities, and privileges.
Will the graduates of the School of Law please be seated?
Will the candidates from the Graduate School of Education please stand? Yes. Mr. President, I present to you those who have completed the requirements for the degrees of Master of Arts and Doctor of Philosophy.
By the authority vested in me by the faculty and trustees of this university, I'm delighted to confer publicly upon you the degrees for which you have been presented and to admit you to their rights, responsibilities, and privileges.
Will the graduates from the School of Education please be seated?
Will the graduates from the School of Humanities and Sciences please stand? Mr. President, I present to you those who have completed the requirements for the degrees of Master of Arts, Master of Liberal Arts, Master of Science, Master of Fine Arts, Doctor of Musical Arts, and Doctor of Philosophy.
Thank you, Dean Saller. And on the occasion of your final commencement as Dean of the School of Humanities and Sciences, please accept our thanks for your years of service to Stanford University. Thank you. By the authority vested in me by the faculty and trustees of this university, I am delighted to confer publicly upon you the degrees for which you have been presented and to admit you to their rights, responsibilities, and privileges.
Thank you, Mr. President. Will the graduates from the School of Humanities and Sciences please be seated?
Will the candidates from the School of Earth, Energy, and Environmental Sciences please stand? Mr. President, I present to you those who have completed the requirement for the degrees of Master of Science, Engineer, and Doctor of Philosophy.
Thank you, Dean Graham, and may I welcome you to your first commencement as Dean of the School of Earth, Energy, and Environmental Sciences. By the authority vested in me by the faculty and trustees of this university, I am delighted to confer publicly upon you the degrees for which you have been presented and to admit you to their rights, responsibilities, and privileges.
Will the graduates from Stanford Earth please be seated?
Will the candidates from the Graduate School of Business please stand? Mr. President, I present to you those who have completed the requirements for the degrees of Master of Arts in Business Research, Master of Science in Management, Master of Business Administration, and Doctor of Philosophy.
By the authority vested in me by the faculty and trustees of this university, I am delighted to confer publicly upon you the degrees for which you have been presented and to admit you to their rights, responsibilities, and privileges.
Will the graduates from the School of Business please be seated?
Will the candidates from the School of Medicine please stand? Mr. President, I present to you those who have completed the requirements for the degrees of Master of Arts, Master of Science, Doctor of Medicine, and Doctor of Philosophy.
By the authority vested in me by the faculty and trustees of this university, I am delighted to confer publicly upon you the degrees for which you have been presented and to admit you to their rights, responsibilities, and privileges.
Will the graduates from the School of Medicine please be seated?
Well, Mr. President, have we forgotten anyone?
I don't think so. Provost Drell? Oh, wait, the undergraduate degrees.
Oh, of course. Of course. Of course, that's right. Mr. President, I now have the honor to recognize all those who have completed the requirements for undergraduate degrees. Will the recipients of the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, and Bachelor of Arts in Science please stand? Mr. President, I present to you those who have completed the requirements for the Bachelor of Arts and the Bachelor of Science degrees and the Bachelor of Arts and Science degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the faculty and trustees of this university, I am delighted to confer publicly upon you the bachelor degree and admit you to its rights, responsibilities, and privileges. Congratulations.
Will the graduates please be seated?
Well, thank you, Provost Drell. Again, to the members of the class of 2018, on behalf of Stanford University, congratulations to all of you on this very special day. You've graduated from the family of Stanford students, and you have joined the family of Stanford alumni. From this day forward, wherever you go in the world, whatever path you explore, and whichever purposes serve as your guide, you will remain forever cardinal and forever a part of the Stanford community. And so in closing, as you start a new journey as graduates of Stanford, I hope you will remember these words. Let today serve as a beginning, not just an ending. Seek those measures of excellence that are meaningful, that serve as true measures of the power of your offering to the world. And most importantly, live a life of purpose and a life of continual exploration. Congratulations, class of 2018!
Graduates of 2018, as you go on from this place, may your journey be like water, coming at pace down a mountain, smoothing sharp and jagged edges along the way as it forges new paths, always moving towards a greater goal for the good of everyone, bringing life to all it encounters. Believe in kindness to yourself and to others. Be wise and humble, because we need this from you. Nurture and guide people, because you know the value of others investing in you, and will do the same for those who you encounter. Envision a world full of creativity, strong leadership, with an unshakable belief in justice for all. Make that world a reality. Take comfort from the fact that you have traveled on this journey here at Stanford, that you have grown, you have learnt, and built throughout it. May you brim with all that is good as you step forward into your new journey.
For more, please visit us at stanford.edu.